To do better, it's just getting short-circuited as you move up in the layers of the organization. The minister's discussion about we have robust systems, she's out to lunch.
The source says it's not just tax filer fraud. They say the CRA isn't being honest with Canadians about how much it's been duped by scammers in recent years. What would your estimate be?
It's more than 100 million. It's more than that. I have first-hand experience with cases that eclipse that. It's like $500 million.
Internal CRA documents leaked to the Fifth Estate provide example after example. Bogus claims paid out without review. It was impossible for CRA to proactively detect fraud. Refunds are being issued before they can be intercepted. In one scheme alone, $128 million in bogus refunds were claimed.
I think that if you don't have a system that's fair, where hard-working Canadians who willingly pay their share to have it stolen by a bad actor so easily, and for it to not be pursued, there is no consequence.
There were a series of articles that came out with the Fifth Estate and prompting a parliamentary committee, a lot of questions being asked. What was the feeling inside the CRA?
I think that there was panic, but there are also people who quietly said, finally, someone is talking about it. Someone has shattered that sort of cone of silence and brought it into the daylight.
So then has the effort become more important to protect the reputation of the CRA or to protect our money?
I think that, in my experience, it's really about protecting the reputation of the agency.
And you believe this is something that Canadians need to know?
Absolutely. I think they deserve to know. I think they need to know that. And they're going to be angry, and rightfully so. But I think that pressure will force people that have been unwilling to change to change. Tax season is coming. It's going to happen all over again.
When we come back, we investigate who set up the accounts that enable the imposters to spend our tax dollars.
You have to have a certain amount of knowledge and sophistication and access that's going to facilitate this fraud.
Want to hand off your taxes? Get more from your tax expert and spend less.
Full stop.
Our investigation into hacked CRA accounts and stolen identities led us to victims across the country who feel abandoned, alone, and desperate to get their lives back. We tracked down this couple, caught on surveillance camera, that were using a prepaid credit card loaded with money from a tax fraud. A tax return filed with the stolen identity of a Kelowna man. A tax return filed through H&R Block. So he called H&R Block's head office in Calgary to ask how this could happen.
And so I told her, I am a victim of identity fraud, and I'm trying desperately to get any kind of information I can. And she said, oh, that's interesting. This particular tax file is flagged.
So H&R Block was on the case. Or was it? First he says he was told his file had gone missing. Then he says the tax firm escalated his file and promised they'd call in the police.
It's Chantal calling from H&R Block. Sorry that it's taking me a while to get back to you.
Almost a year after reporting the fraud, an H&R Block investigator left the victim a voicemail. The firm determined the bogus return was filed at one of H&R Block's franchises.
The office that filed the taxes is actually a franchise office. So when we couldn't find you in our system, it is because our franchises have their own systems and we can't see the information.
Those bank records show the tax return was filed at an H&R Block franchise at the shopping plaza in Spruce Grove, west of Edmonton. So how did an imposter with a stolen identity open an account here? We gave the franchise owner a call.
Hi, Cherry. My name is Mark Kelly. I'm calling from the CBC program, The Fifth Estate. We're doing a story about...
Why? Well, as the saying goes, history is written by the victors, but with a little bit of substituting words, you get this. And while nobody in particular is dying in battle here, the point is that academics were certainly not working class, and would write about people like themselves. Professor Constance Coiner argues this point, that despite economic class now making the list of race, gender, ethnicity, sexuality, and disability, it's often the least addressed of these issues in academia. She says that this may be because a few people of working class origin make it into the ranks of the professoriate. So, few people with an insider sensitivity to the issue are undertaking scholarship and shaping curricula. Basically, working class people never had the representation in a historian's library, so a lot of what we know about them has been forgotten. Instead, the people who were in the high thrones of academia didn't read working class literature because it wasn't particularly interesting to them. It's kind of like taking a string quartet and bringing them to a country concert. Like oil and water, they don't mix. This problem wasn't uniquely...
¿Qué pasó?
Que surgió de tu corazón misericordioso, quiero misericordia,
Toma, amor. Amor.